There was a major, massive change, and it was called the Great Flood. And Ngarluma means people of the flooded lands.
But are you able to explain like creation and where water came in?
Yeah, so the water comes from the serpents. The serpents are marga who transform into water spirits. And so the land had its own laws, the water needed its own as well. And so um, you have different marga changed then into warlo being the serpents, and then they created all the laws across all the waterways right across the country. So we say warlo here in the Pilbara, but Kimberley Mob and others, they say Jilla, which is the same thing for the rainbow serpent. Let me make a point. Right. How long ago was Sumer and Babylon?
They say 6,000, maybe 4 to 6,000.
And Babylonians and what's the other mob? Follow with the Anunnaki mob. Arcadians and all that mob, right? They go back around 10,000 years, approximately. 10,000. Can you tell me who the mob was around before that?
No, they just pick up the story there.
All right.
I don't know.
My people, from 10,000 years ago and up to now, we are called a Ngarluma people, right? But before 10,000 years, we had a different name. And I can tell you that now. I know who my mob was back then. That's during the Ice Age and beyond. You know, I can name it. We're called Yagorigi. And the reason is because we sing it. We sing it in our songlines. And there are things that our songlines capture from the old times, you know, where I can't tell you all of it. But that, because a lot of people tend to think oral history is inferior compared to what's the written word. But see, the written word can't even tell you what happened before 6,000 to 10,000 years ago, whereas I can tell you straight out. And that's through my songlines. That's through what's written in Morojuga there on the stones.
So when you say your people, you had there was a different name. So
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, I guess I want to know why. I'm feeling like there was an energetic change, there was an earth change. What was it?
There was a major, massive change, and it was called the Great Flood. And Ngarluma means people of the flooded lands, the flood country people. Because long time ago, there was a big flood that flooded our country because there were too many lawbreakers. And the Marga, who in the form of the Warlu, were flooding the earth because they were doing it on behalf of Mingala, a god, as a punishment for our misdeeds. But then the bird spirits, angels, saved us. One in particular, his name was Bulbul, and he was the pheasant kukul, so Maddie will know that. And Bulbul was incredibly powerful sorcerer. He's able to push the water back, stop the flood from flooding the world, but couldn't stop all of the flood. So there were places that ended up still flooded. And so when that time happened, my people who before that time that were known as the Yagorigi end up living in a land that was now flooded. Then we became known as the Ngarluma, and that's how all the other tribes, coastal tribes, came to be. And well, their names originated from that time.
So you're saying the old name you said is people of the flood? Is that the translation?
That's our new name. Yeah.
Sorry. So okay. What was the name? What did the name mean in English? The old name.
It meant not like northern people or people of northern lands, something like that. You know.
Northern lands.
Wow. So your nation's name is people of the flood.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I mean, this is why I am sometimes gobsmacked at the focus that Western society has on Egypt. and we completely, significance that it holds so much. It literally is the piece of the puzzle that we've been missing in every era, every theory, every archaeological discovery.
Yeah, I think it's because Australian society and the academia don't look at Aboriginal history in the way it needs to be looked at, in terms of how highly, what's the word, like our knowledge from a spiritual perspective, and I think even historically, is such a incredible piece of knowledge, and it's not being given the respect it's due, and that's because it is an oral history, an oral way of teaching, and so because it's never been written down, which is the standard that Europeans like to acknowledge. That's why they love Egyptian culture and heritage so much, because that's one of the oldest forms of writing, the written system and everything. So we don't get the same respect,